Hello and welcome to Sketch in Review. We are doing the review for the Zoë Kravitz episode of SNL about a week late because
No. This happened yesterday. We got
yeah, this definitely happened yesterday, and we're putting it up like a week and a half late.
I like to imagine that our audience is exclusively people that didn't have the chance to catch it last night. Let me just get the rundown. Which ones are good? Which ones are bad?
So let's hop right in. We've got a cold open for...
It sucked.
It was good until it wasn't.
Oh wow! What was the good part? I missed it. I must have blinked.
I don't know. I think Biden calling himself the landline of presidents was funny.
It was. You're right. It was.
I think making fun of the girl who did that poem.
I guess I'm too much of a dorky old Grizzo to fucking get that.
Oh, this random CW actress put out a
CW.
poem where she said, "If I was your mom, I would have loved you more, and maybe you wouldn't have invaded Ukraine because of it."
Damn. I kind of just want to watch that video.
Oh, you really don't. It's not good. I think the cold open might be better.
That's got very early internet energy though. That's got some Leave Britney Alone energy to it. I need to know.
But without any of the irony.
Sure.
Anyway, yeah. So the gimmick of the sketch is Biden has a bunch of TikTok stars on to, show how we can beat Ukraine because this is the first war fought on TikTok. And so they bring a bunch of the famous TikTokers, which are like that CW actress, Charlie D'Amelio, but the wrong one. The 9-year-old girl who does animal makeup, and then 3 other people. I don't watch TikTok, so already the sketch is I don't have the baseline knowledge to understand who each of these people are, and SNL does understand that most people who are going to watch SNL don't have that baseline. They then have to waste a third of the sketch for each person to be like, "Hi, I'm blank, and my thing is blank."
Yeah.
And then we can do the jokes about blank.
It's true. And they don't have to do that. They could just they have done sketches where in the joke they more or less give you all the information you need for it. But in this one they just had zero faith with the audience in this. Because they're I mean, in fairness, I think the overlap between people that watch TikTok and people that watch SNL is it's probably a lot in terms of, people numbers, but
there are dozens
SNL's
of them.
An old person show. Or it's always been an old person show. It's been an old person and dork show its entire existence.
Mm-hmm. No, SNL was only funny when you were in high school, and then it got bad. That's a fact. SNL was always funniest whenever you were 15 years old. It's like Dane Cook. He was always funniest when you were in middle school. Alright,
but yeah.
Yeah, bad cold open, but every...
Oh, wait.
Oh.
That one fucking part I thought was... Sorry, I'm playing with the tape roll. That one fucking part where the girl that does the face painting says some QAnon shit, and then Biden turns to the audience and goes, "Who would have known that kid was alt-right?" And I was like, "Shut the fuck up!"
That's the joke.
We knew that. That's literally the whole joke.
Yeah.
You didn't need to say it. It was right there.
You're not Mikey Day. You can't do it funny. Speaking of which, I saw a bit of Mikey Day's new show. Is It Cake?
Oh my god. We need to do a show on that.
We absolutely do. It's a game show in which you bring in a bunch of bakers and you show them 6 podiums of stuff, and they have to guess which one of those 6 items on the podium is actually a cake. And then whoever gets it,
fun game.
and then whoever gets it right has to make a cake in the shape of one of the items on the podium.
Huh. Okay.
And then I fell asleep, so I don't know how it ends.
All right, I'm gonna fill in the blanks on how this one ends. A series of judges are called in, and they find out who made the best cake, and then there's a scoring element for how close it looks to the object.
Honestly, maybe, because I remember Fortune Feimster also showed up at one point, and her...
I've watched the show, but I've watched literally any competition show ever, so I was able to fill in the blanks there.
Anyway, yeah.
It doesn't end with Mikey Day saying, you should bake a cake. Anyway, we're done.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Wouldn't it be cool if you guys baked a cake that looked like this? Next time on Is It Cake?
Oh. Anyway, yeah, the cold open, not that good. Cold opens are always a 50-50 shot on if it's good or bad.
Yep.
Anyway, we'll move on to the monologue. It was an alright monologue. As the monologue hater, I guess I'll start. I mean, it's fun. Monologues in which the cast get involved is always fun, because at least it guarantees that the sketch will have some sort of momentum and flow for the monologue. So it was cool. It was fun to get, the 2 different versions of Catwoman, and then a cat lady, and then the ultimate subversion of our rule of 3 to go for a 4th Cat Williams joke.
The best part of that entire monologue is that they were like, these cat women and Williamses.
Chris Redd does an amazing Cat Williams, as it turns out.
Goddamn.
It was very good. I think it was fine. It was fun. They had some good jokes. All in all, it's not a monologue to write home about, but it was serviceable. It got the job done, and it made me giggle a few times. I really do love the when someone suggests, like, when the crazy cat lady shows up and she's like, I've hosted SNL a ton of times in my mind, but in my mind it's called Saturday Night Cat. And then Zoë Kravitz is just like, why not Catterday Night Live? Damn it.
So it's like some jokes just work.
Though that's one of those jokes that just kind of like anytime you can put that exact setup in any like situation and it'll always generally work.
It's just a fun, goofy joke, and we love it. I liked all the Catwoman references. I liked all the. It was good. The jokes were funny. It was a good monologue. Made me smile.
So then we move into the wedding speech sketch. So it starts off with Chris Redd up on stage, and he tells like a joke of just I always looked up to Kyle Mooney's character, but that's just because he's 2 inches taller. Anyway, love you guys. Thank you. Fucking Mikey Day just comes up, still munching on cake, and he's like, yeah, he just came up and said like 3 sentences for his speech.
The best part about this bit is that it opens as if they're showing you the end of a regular length speech, and then the guy undermines that by saying, no, that was the whole speech, what you just saw. It's a good bit. Very good bit.
Anyway, so next up is in that sketch, after Chris Redd comes up, Zoë Kravitz comes up to do the maid of honor speech, in which she does her maid of honor speech is just, if you don't love her at her worst, you can't love her at her best, by describing all this horrible, horrible shit about Cecily Strong's character.
This one, it's so wild. Like, this was like SNL is so afraid to be edgy all the time, and then they just bet it all on this one.
Yeah, true. They did. Listen, here's the thing. SNL has one of two options in every sketch. We're either going to be safe, or we're going to the end of the earth, and there is
Like,
no in between.
Some of those jokes I wasn't even sure about. I don't know.
I thought it was so great because it was just such good character building where each thing you're like, it can't get much worse, and then it just kept getting worse.
I mean, god damn.
I mean,
it started. I mean, they just listen. They wanted you to know this was one horrible one. But then she was also, I don't know. But then also, I don't know. That I'm sure it missed the mark in ways that I'm not qualified to properly illustrate. But but they went out there. I'll give them props for trying.
Listen, there are some very quality lines. You're not a monster. You're his math teacher. About her husband.
God damn. Oh.
And then we get a please don't destroy boy in a live sketch because of it. I love that they put him shoulder height at the table.
Yep. I love that it works. Why do we just have so many children on us now?
Because you need people who can play young.
True, it's true. Overall, it was a big sketch. It went real hard, and I appreciate that. I'm gonna need to check the survey to see whether or not I missed the mark.
Yeah. Also, I will say that this is the monologue that Zoë Kravitz basically should have had for her monologue. Not in content, but just in the fact that this sketch is basically just a monologue for her with little tidbits.
No. And she can deliver a monologue instead of being what was I didn't mention, but what was essentially a wet blanket in a fun monologue. And she can be fun, so I don't know why she had to be the wet blanket in that.
Yeah, so
maybe she just can't play straight man as much as she can play fun goofy character, because every time she's a fun goofy character in this, she's so much fun.
Mm-hmm. She definitely is able to take the weird and roll with it.
Yeah.
So after that, we get the Amazon Go commercial, which I don't know how this was not a sketch before this week.
Yeah, it's a good point.
It's just such a solid joke that I can't believe that nobody touched on this until now. So the entire premise of the joke is Amazon Go, for those of you who don't know, is Amazon's reaction to HBO Go, in which HBO Go was a service before HBO Max where you could watch HBO shows. Amazon Go was a food store for when you couldn't get on Amazon's Whole Foods delivery.
One-day delivery.
Yeah. Anyway, so the gimmick for Amazon Go was this is a supermarket that's going to set up shop, and what you do is you scan in, you grab the food that you want, and you walk out, and it'll just charge your Amazon account. No lines, no checking out, no paying until, it hits your Amazon account. For a seamless shopping experience. Which all the white people in the sketch take... They're just like, yep, alright, perfect. We're gonna do it, and it's fine. And then all the people of color in the sketch are like, this is a trap. You want me to grab a food, put it into my bag, and walk out of this store.
It's very good. It's very, very good.
It's solid. It's so solid because it's just such a very obvious joke, and it's just masterfully delivered by everyone, where they're all like, no.
Yeah. And this sketch, along with not the next sketch. This sketch, along with it just shows that first off, having a bigger SNL cast is just only good for everyone. And also having a more diverse SNL cast means that we can make these sketches in which we have more than one black person. In which we don't need to cut to one person making a different joke each time. We can have different people making a different. And then, this probably like probably the reason why we didn't get this until now is because we needed to wait for us to just keep on getting more diversity in the cast.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, but the jokes fucking quality.
Dismukes has a great. Dismukes has a great one-liner in it too, where him and Zoe Kravitz are a couple, and they're like, and Zoe Kravitz says, "Oh, they have my favorite kombucha." He says, "Oh, okay, grab it," and she's like, "You grab it." He's like, "What do you grab it?" She's like, "No, you grab it." And then he grabs it and he just turns to the camera. And he's like, "I'm learning."
Oh, Dismukes. I love when Chris Red is looking for cameras, yelling
yelling that he returned
I
the
put the sandwich back, I want a different one.
or Keenan tipping the machine.
Yeah. I mean, let's be real. It's a weird idea for a store anyway.
Yeah, listen, I was not a fan of it when I heard it too.
Yeah, born with all of the benefits that we have, we would not be comfortable going into the store. Imagine if we perceived real world consequences instead of imagined consequences.
Mm-hmm. Our imagined consequences, no one listens to our podcast.
No, that's a real world consequence. No one listens to our podcast.
Hey, we have ones of listeners. If you're a listener of Sketch and Review, email us at billyhatemail@gmail.com. Please email us. I check anything at all.
Just let us know you're there.
Alright, so after the Amazon Go sketch, we move right into the recurring nerd sketch. And so this sketch is it's always the same thing where Kate McKinnon plays the super nerdy boy, and then A.D. Bryant plays his best friend on the phone while Kate McKinnon tries to navigate a teenage sexual experience. And no matter what terrible advice or like the direction that Kate McKinnon's character takes the advice in, it always works somehow. It's just, there's something so funny about, first off, the way Kate McKinnon like sits for most of the sketch with her neck fucking not visible.
She so perfectly. And A.D. Bryant also does a perfect nerd, and the two of them together just they play off each other so well. And I just like there's like it doesn't SNL isn't that weird thing, but they sell it so well where Kate just goes like, against all odds that worked. This is my first time seeing one of these sketches, and I could watch it all day. It's so good. So good. It's also just like, they're dorks, but you want them to win, and they win. And it's great.
I think my favorite was after Zoe Kravitz's character said like, I'm done with jocks. I want nerdy boys or women. And Kate McKinnon just turns, we've got them.
Amazing.
Quality sketch. Check out, if you haven't seen any of the other ones, you should try and track them down. I don't know what they're called on YouTube, but if you just look up like Kate McKinnon SNL nerd sketch, it'll probably come up.
Yep.
So after that, we move to a Princess and the Frog sketch.
Yeah, I like this movie. I haven't seen it because I've seen like every 7th Disney movie, but I've only heard good things.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's one of those where like it came out and then there were just better Disney films that came out after it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
Hey, listen, like I haven't seen a Disney movie in a long time. The last Disney movie I actually saw was that I saw fully through was I watched The Little Mermaid when me and Teresa were like looking after her niece for a night.
Huh.
But
that's the
worst
world in Kingdom Hearts 1.
No. And also, yesterday I was with my niece and nephew, and I watched, like, the first half of Encanto.
Hell yeah. I don't know why I haven't been keeping up entirely with Disney Animation Studios, because they're I just love that. I saw Moana so many fucking times.
Yeah. Anyway, Princess.
I even liked Frozen 2. I'm the person that liked Frozen 2.
Oh. Anyway, so I will say that I'm glad that we get to basically start off this sketch with Chris Red's. Oh man, that's crazy.
I've gotten to, like, whenever I'm hanging out with people and someone says that's crazy, I'm like, you're Chris Red right now.
Yeah. I do love that they played really hard into no one really knows anything about Princess and the Frog. When Chris Red is like, "Oh my God, it's Captain Hook," and Keenan has to be like, "No, I'm the bad guy from this film."
All right, I'm gonna talk about it. I need to talk about it. The whole thing of this sketch is that she's uncomfortable because the frog doesn't have a penis. And we're getting a lot of fun how frogs reproduce jokes, which is the kind of niche humor that I love. That said,
these comedy writers need to stop watching the Discovery Channel. I'm gonna say it. They need to stop watching Animal Planet because between this and the monkey sketch.
But hear me out on this. Logistically speaking, if you thought you were gonna fuck a frog, what would it matter whether or not it had a penis? It's not gonna be big enough to do any work.
Well, listen, I think
very small.
I think there are also other logistical problems with the sketch, because if I remember correctly, Princess and the Frog, the entire point is that she kisses him, and then she also turns into a frog, right?
Is that true?
I'm pretty sure that's the gimmick of the whole film, is that instead of him turning into a prince and they live happily ever after, she turns into a frog, and now she has to get the curse broken too.
Oh, we should watch this movie.
Yeah, listen, that's what I got from seeing the advertisements for it.
Also, the people that made SNL should probably watch this movie before making it.
Here's the thing, I think Andrew Dismukes did see this movie, because at the end, he just shows up as Ray, the mosquito from Princess and the Frog, and does his Cajun accent for an extra 30 seconds at the end, just to have a rant about how this is the worst Disney character ever made.
And he's competing with the Jim Crows, so, like, that's a strong. Like, I was thinking about that all the way up until fucking what's his name? Weekend Update. Colin Jost was like made that 90 years of Disney movies joke, and I was like, yeah, because it gets worse.
Yeah, you're really scratching the surface with the Jim Crows.
Fucking A.
Anyway, this was like it was a fine sketch that somebody wrote after watching a documentary about frogs.
And I really wanted to. I just watched a documentary about frogs, and they were like, I just really want them to say all this shit about frogs.
Because people need to know.
I just want someone to enthusiastically say all this shit I learned about frogs. And you know what? That energy can carry a sketch. It didn't carry this one. But, like, in any other night, this sketch would have been, like, pretty good. The only reason I don't like this sketch is because this night has so many winners in it for me.
Yeah, you know what's wild is when I saw it live before I did the rewatch with you, I was not too hot on this episode, and then on rewatch I was like, oh, you know what? No, there are good parts.
I love most of the parts.
Yeah, honestly, I do too. I think this and maybe one other is probably like the weakest parts.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Anyway, so we move on from that to a Please Don't Destroy sketch, in which the Please Don't Destroy boys get a cat for Zoë Kravitz.
Oh.
And then, as Zoe Kravitz enters into the room, they have lost the cat, and chaos ensues.
I love their chaotic internet energy. It's very good. It's the kind of shit that I watch or used to watch before I ran out of shit that wasn't good. That was good. It's very good. It has such winners in it. Like, why did we ask them for the smallest, fastest cat they had? Zoe Kravitz can do that amazing turnaround from like just like regular person being like, oh hey, you guys got me a cat, into they show the picture of the cute cat and said his name is Mr. Snugglebutt or whatever, and then like really intense but goofy intense takes out a net and says, let's find this cat. A lot of great recurring bits where she keeps capturing him, and some dude that apparently makes movies climbs out from the sofa.
He's also a writer on SNL.
Okay.
Yeah, Paul Dano apparently is living under the Please Don't Destroy Boys' couch because he's writing a movie about them called basically Three Sad Virgins again.
The boring writers.
And then you get that solid rug pull where they step on the Lego set and you just hear a snap and everyone goes dead silent and it's like, oh no, oh no, oh no. And they milk it. They milk it for just enough time that you think that that's how SNL's going to fucking end the sketch for a second. And then it cuts down and it's just the Lego set and you can breathe a sigh of relief. And then Zoe Kravitz gets her... Oh yeah, they open a drawer and it's just a dog.
It's just a stupid dog. And then they close the drawer. So good.
Ugh. The Please Don't Destroy Boys are always quality.
So fucking always quality. This one was an unusually... Oh, what about... We got you a Catwoman woman cat. We got Ant-Man and Ant-Man Man-Ant. Oh my god. So good. Fuck, that's so good. And...
Yep. So next up, we've got the Video Will sketch, which is just quality acting by Kenan Thompson in this, doing the fast forwards live. Anyway, so the gimmick is Zoe Kravitz and Chris Redd playing her brother and Ego playing their mom. They find a videotape that has Kenan's Video Will on it. And basically it's just he slowly admits to like not like worse and worse shit, just weirder and weirder stuff. It just slowly gets down. Where it starts off with him saying like, I'm broke. I lost all my money at JB Smooth's gambling. which they managed to rules of 3 with, which is wild. It was like a solid rules of 3 too, because they dropped that little line where he's like, yeah, I lost it all gambling with this specific guy. And Chris Redd even makes a throwaway joke like, man, I downloaded that app for him last week.
It's so wild how like sometimes SNL's just on top of it with like they can go weeks where like none of the sketches are like there's just like small technical problems that fuck over every single joke, and then they have this week where everything's so on point. Mm-hmm. Everything like they do good rules of 3s. They had fucking punchlines in the wedding reading, the wedding speech one. There's just this really solid punchline where God, who plays the husband?
Kyle Mooney.
It's not Kyle Mooney. Kyle Mooney also is a fucking chameleon sometimes. I can't tell you. But Kyle Mooney is just like I'm gonna die. You're just like...
Yeah, listen, they had solid endings for this episode. This is great. This one is just so good because eventually Kenan goes on to start talking about a movie that he made, Dallas City Bouncers, and he starts describing it. And Ego just says, "I'll just fast forward through it." and then they click it, and then Keenan, who's performing on the second smaller stage with a camera on him for the audience and stuff, is just very quickly doing different things so that it looks like they're fast forwarding through.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just solid. Solid jokes.
I wish he played a little bit more with the penis pump while he was fast forward.
Oh yeah, if he just do.
Yeah. Just like do a fun thing. But like it is just wanting there to be more jokes in a thing that has a lot of great jokes. Like
yeah, this one's a solid. This
really
one will go on a best of if they still made those.
Don't worry, we make them for them now. You need to Google each and every one of the sketches. But we'll give you vague names of them or YouTube titles depending on how we're feeling.
Yeah. So
really
solid sketch. Next up, we get Rosalia's first song.
I like.
Listen, song not in my genre, but it was fine. It seemed like people enjoyed it in the audience. I do have 2 questions about her wardrobe choice. One, why is she only wearing half the jacket?
It's the vibe.
But what is the vibe exactly?
I believe the vibe is walking home from a sexual encounter.
Okay.
To phrase it in the most clinical way I can.
Okay, but then why are you only wearing half a coat? Wouldn't it be easier to put your other arm through the coat so that you don't have like half of the coat flapping behind you, falling off of your other shoulder because it's not properly put on?
Literally, yes, but you're trying to put together that whole, like, I just fucking woke up and I'm just trying to get home vibe. That's why she's got those fucking, like, gym socks over the, like...
That was my other thing, was like, why is she wearing white socks?
That's the bit! It's the bit! Dad, you don't get it!
I guess I don't. I guess I don't get it. You're right.
I like it. I think it's a fun.
Listen, I think I'm late for my yelling at clouds appointment.
The code is. Also, I really like the song. It's a kind of music that I really like, but don't listen to enough on Spotify because being adventurous on Spotify does not jive with my needing to get work done while listening to Spotify. So unfortunately, I need to listen to the same 13 songs that Spotify has decided are my only song.
Unfortunate. I think it's wild. Spotify has decided that my tastes are so narrow that they will put the same song on my Spotify Discover twice.
The fuck?
Just by 2 different bands.
Oh, that's amazing. I got a fucking Spotify when they gave me my like aura or whatever. They were like, "Your aura is creepy and happy," and I was like, "What?"
Rough, dude.
Yeah. Then I looked at like just how many fucking songs I had that were about ghosts, and I was like, "Okay."
Okay, I would have preferred spooky and happy.
It was probably spooky. I think it was spooky. I think I was the projecting.
Alright.
I like the song and the dress.
Next up, we've got Weekend Update.
Very good.
Listen, solid. There were solid jokes. We got a great Jost roast.
An excellent Jost roast
about the Gilded Age. Fun tidbit. My fraternity house from college, HBO filmed there for the Gilded Age. Because they filmed all throughout Troy, and if you like just look at if you specifically, Connor, and anyone else who went to RPI and hung out in downtown Troy, if you watch the trailer for the Gilded Age, all of the outdoor shots are like, oh, that's 3rd Street.
That's wild. That's fucking wild. It's the old famous Gilded Age place, Mud Daddy Flat.
Yeah. I was like,
oh fuck me.
Also, Michael Che had a solid Iraq joke where gas prices are getting so high we're gonna have to move in with our ex.
Oh god, everyone's just on it tonight. Excellent jokes.
So
I mean, Weekend Update's rarely bad, but like,
well, yeah, because Weekend Update, like, despite how hard it is to take all the stuff that the Daily Show and the late night shows all have already worked with for a full week, and as hard as it is to write original jokes for it, it's still relatively easy compared to the rest of SNL because you're just writing jokes.
Yeah. You're just watching the news and then writing, and especially since Last Week Tonight, whenever it's on, tends to just do not the actual news, but actual news, but not the pop news that we'll be referencing, but whatever the issue of the week is, and that's the other show that does visual gags as much as this.
Well, there is also The Daily Show.
Yeah, I guess I'm.
Listen,
I guess I'm thinking back to a time when they probably did less visual gags. Do they do more of them now?
I mean, even when Jon Stewart was on it, they did visual gags sometimes.
I know, but not
Weekend.
as overwhelming.
Listen, Weekend Update really historic lore time. Weekend Update really did set the stage for Daily Show, Colbert Report, Last Week Tonight, the Samantha Bee one, the Nightly Show. All of the other fun comedy news stories, because they all kind of have the same thing where they look and then they have a little graphic right here that helps with a picture to tell the story.
Yep.
But it's not bad. It's just Weekend Update is the original, and so it's very hard for them to write original jokes when there's 5 nights of late night TV that make jokes. Especially because there's 4 channels that each have their own that make it, and so it's just continually compounding on each other.
Yeah.
Anyway, so our first guest for Weekend Update was Terry Fink. I don't love the Terry Fink character, but he is always fun.
Yeah. I don't. The actor that does the Terry Fink character,
Alex Moffat.
Yeah, Alex Moffat exclusively plays pricks. I don't know if he is a prick. I'm just saying that the amount of he acts in a way that he must have done a lot of research for the role. I don't know. I get a bad vibe from him, and I think that's unfair because he exclusively plays pricks.
Well, yeah, his three biggest characters are Terry Fink, who not necessarily a prick, just whacked out.
Yeah.
Guy who just bought a boat, who is supposed to be a prick because that's a guy who just bought a boat, and Eric Trump.
Exactly. Yes.
It's all right, listen, this is really gonna sour how people view the man.
That's why it's completely unfair of me. I do not retract my thought. But yes, he only plays pricks, and therefore my brain labels him as a prick, and therefore I only wish him to fail. That all said, and also I never liked Terry Fink.
Yeah,
I really liked this Terry Fink.
Yeah, I think
I liked this one.
I think it's because they really reined in his acid visions for it.
They reined in his acid visions, and they focused in on the freaking out because I'm on television and I'm on acid right now vision.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I remember when we did it earlier in the year and we talked about it. We were like, yeah, but half the shit that he says, come on, unless he's taking macro dosages.
Yeah.
But also, I
love the rating system. It's very funny. Mm-hmm. I'm sure he's done it before, but I liked it more.
Yeah, listen, Alex Moffat is always so good at the like alliterative words because that's the entire point of Guy Who Just Bought a Boat, and this one also gets like the tiny terrified Terrys, such so on and so forth.
They had to. I'm sure this wasn't the first time that he said he needed to be carried out by Regal Cinema's strongest teenagers, but if it's such a good line.
So that's Terry Fink.
Anyway,
next up we get Kyle Mooney as Dan Bulldozer. Who his entire thing is that he's like an Instagram hype man. His entire life is hype. Everything about him's dope. He's yoked. He's writing a book because it's so easy. Blah blah blah. And I don't know. It's a fine character. I think they just wanted to have fun with the voice changer.
The voice change and the muscle suit that they had. It just looking at Kyle Mooney and that, who once again I didn't recognize as Kyle Mooney.
Well, it's great because he said like Kyle Mooney stuff. But because he, like, looked yoked and had that voice modifier, it came out completely different.
Oh, my God.
Kyle Mooney is an Instagram hype man stuck inside a comedy nerd's body.
I wish they went deeper into the fact... Like, the punchline is that, hey, dude, are you happy?
No.
I think there would be more fun things to do with like him writing, just like, one of those, and it happens a lot in a Weekend Update where like the story is supposed to be about how they're a hype man, but actually the story is about how they are deeply sad, and like we're trying to get away from the fact that you're deeply sad, but we keep getting back to it, or the dude, are you okay? No, it's fine. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
No, I'm good.
I think that's a richer vein.
Yeah, I think it would have been cool if like after he started writing, after he talked about writing his book, if like you read a passage from it and it was just like sad poetry basically, where it's like life is gray and meaningless. Blah 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 blah. I hate the sun. Dude, are you okay? Yeah, bro. Great. Never better.
Like, perfect. Though, I mean, the line, we could still have it in this, but the line, it's like, it's, oh god, what's the writer? It's like Ernest Hemingway, but for dudes.
Yeah.
Like Ernest Hemingway, but for dudes.
Anyway, yeah. So, Dan Bulldozer was fun.
Yeah, good time.
Next up is the Game Show Network, Word Crunch. I think it was fun that Dismukes got the host role, as opposed to Keenan, who normally does the game show hosts, and you can see Dismukes kind of starting to lean into that because Bill Hader also used to do all the game show hosts, so you can see Dismukes starting to be molded for those types of characters as well, because Andrew Dismukes is the next big star of SNL. It's gonna take 8 years.
Fancast, let's go.
It's gonna take probably 5 to 6 years from right now. But then he will be the best. Everyone will love him. He is the best cast member then. You heard it here first.
He's so good. He's so good all the time. He does like 3 cast members' jobs as good, if not better than them.
Anyway, so the entire gimmick of the game show is they show you a word search and you gotta find the words.
Yep.
And so it starts off, someone finds like apple, someone finds car, someone finds this, and then Zoe Kravitz's character finds mom hole.
And from there, it does this I think you should leave thing where they
double down, they triple down, they quadruple down.
Everybody wants to move on, but this character is focusing on mom hole, and then eventually it starts moving on from that, and the world starts deteriorating around the singularity of mom hole, and all of the puzzles start having different kinds of hole, and like and then there's just like sex words up there instead, and she's just knocking them down one after another. The escalation in this is weird because like ending on a bunch of different, like, it goes from like sex words to like other things to like everything is holes to like then there's just bees and dad hole. I don't think it's ever like a straight escalation, but I don't think it needs to be because every single separate element is strong enough on its own that like it's fine. It's really
it definitely has its peaks and valleys as far as the energy and escalation of the scene goes. Where each time we kind of get brought back to a base level when the new puzzle is shown, and then we can ramp back up as people find shit, and then we can go back down until finally we get to the last one where it's just a bunch of bees and then the word dad hole in the middle and then a bunch of bees.
What a fucking ending. They
what a
said
punchline.
anything after the ending. Like, it was so, because like, oh, can I say it? Yeah, just say it. I don't care. B. Oh, that's very stupid. That's because Dismukes delivers "that's very stupid" in such a fun way. Like it's like you're laughing at your own joke. It's like that was what you said in the writer room, and you just said it here too. Like it's. I love it so much. This sketch brings me nothing but joy.
It's a solid sketch. I had a lot of fun.
Cornhole.
Yeah. Also, SNL writers, cornhole is a word.
It's true.
Fucking, and listen, I have a ton of people.
I could have told you that.
Mm-hmm. Listen, I know a ton of people who will fight you on it.
Oh.
Maybe not with words, but they don't word too good. Anyway, after that sketch, we get Rosalía number 2.
Yep. A good song. I like it.
Yeah.
Weird costume, though. That one wasn't for me.
Listen, her gear for both performances, not it was just weird for me. But
she went super hard, and I always appreciate that over t-shirt and jeans. But like,
I couldn't tell if she was going for a Virgin Mary look with the head scarf, pretty much, or if she was going for like a Marie Antoinette look with that puffy coat.
Yeah, I don't know. No.
Anyway, song was fine. Once again, not my genre. I have nothing to complain about there.
Yeah, different genre. I liked it, though.
And then we get our 10 minutes to 1 sketch, otherwise known as Bowen Yang wrote a sketch, and they said, okay, Bowen, you can have the last spot.
and it's so good. And it's so good. The problem is that the sketch is that everybody is at a dinner, and they're talking about new music that came out that they liked, and Bowen says, yeah, but what about Don't Stop Believin', the marching band edition?
There are some very like solid things in this. Besides the obvious part where it's just he suggests this, everyone's like, I'm not too sure about that. He's like, oh, let me play you some of it, and they're like, no, please don't, and he does anyway. And then Zoe Kravitz's character gets really into it too. And like that's the entire joke. And this is just basically like if you remember the Weezer sketch from I don't know who was, I think it was Matt Damon's episode when he hosted.
Okay.
But the entire sketch is Leslie Jones and Matt Damon or whatever host it was just arguing about like when Weezer was good. And it just gets slowly but surely more and more like angry and depraved at each other. They're smashing glasses and stuff while their significant other is like, what the fuck are they talking about? This has like the same energy where it's just like two people being really, really into something that nobody else is about.
It's so fucking. There's so many great lines. Like I said this so many times while I was watching this. I wish that this sketch was not a too weird. I don't know if it's. I don't think it's weaker for it, but everything in my heart wants this sketch to be like slowly one by one everybody is getting into this song. It was not that, but it still had the energy of that because there were those fucking lines where like where they're just talking about playing Rainbow Road on Mario Kart 8. And then at the end they're like, and then it's just this is just like running down Rainbow Road in Mario Kart 8, and then they both say together, which is where the song takes place.
There are some very solid bits to this as well, just in not even in the pure like chaotic energy of the sketch, but Don't Stop 11 is the actual title of the track. There is an actual typo on Spotify for it.
Yep, typos on Spotify are so powerful. There was one song called "You Told the Drunks I Knew Karate," and for years it was "You Told the Drunnels I Knew Karate." And it was perfect because it was about being drunk and and telling someone that you know karate. So I thought it was intended, and then they fixed it.
Sad.
And now by the way, it was so common. It was it's still in lyric when you search lyrics. It still has the title of that, but then they changed it like cowards. But on Spotify, when they change a song, you keep the one that you had hearted, and then the one that you used the other one. So I'm never unhearting that because it's always going to be that anyway.
Also, I think it's very funny that he picked the Ohio State University marching band because they are known throughout the nation as the best damn band in the land, or T-Biddle for short.
Oh my god! So everything about this sketch, I love it. Are you guys gonna hook up? Yes, but you're both gay. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, pretty much. where it's like, but I thought you were both gay, and they're like, not anymore, but I am, and I am too.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
It was just an immediate getting caught up in the moment and being like, yes, and then like that split second of like, wait, no.
Which means neither of them is a modern woman, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
All
right. So that was all the sketches. So we'll move on to our awards. First up is Offensive Player of the Week. This is someone who was the weird person in sketches. They provided a lot of the momentum in sketches, kept it moving forward, provided a lot of the jokes, and was all around like a very strong performer that you notice. For the third week in a row, I think I'm going with the host, Zoë Kravitz. Nailed it. Every sketch she was in, she went hard. She knew what she was doing, how she was doing it. Just alone in the wedding speech alone almost guarantees it because if you're not good at like committing and being able to say these things and be earnest about it, this sketch will fail. But it didn't fail. It was hilarious because she hits her mark. She hits her words as hard as she can. And then she has wonderful backup in Cecily there just being like, you're right, I did do that.
She has so much energy. She makes everyone in the scene better. She's a great scene partner. She is perfect for this show. She did an amazing job. The last sketch in this would have just been another Bowen sketch. It would have been a great Bowen sketch, but it would have been just another Bowen sketch. She elevated it by matching Bowen that's what some of the best Bowen sketches are, when somebody can match Bowen, when there can be two weirdos just going hard about something that only they care about. and she, every scene she could bring energy like that, and diverse energy too. Like, she can be every kind of weird. There's a whole gulf of difference between the kind of weird you need to be for the Don't Stop 11 sketch and the kind of weird you need to be for the mom hole sketch, and the kind of weird you need to be for the Please Don't Destroy sketch. And she got all of them so hard. I'm so happy. Very good.
Solid host. I hope she gets another one whenever her next movie comes out.
I hope so too. She gets the Zoë Kravitz Award for got exactly what she needed.
Alright, so we'll move on to Defensive Player of the Week. This is someone who's generally going to be in more of a straight man supporting role. They keep bad scenes from completely imploding. They bolster good scenes to allow them to thrive. Connor, do you have a candidate yet?
Yes. It's got to be the perennial candidate, Keenan. He, in one of the few things that I enjoyed in the cold open was watching Keenan in the corner when somebody would talk about their weird TikTok life, and Keenan just being confused. Like, in the corner there, his role as the father was an incredible performance. He did a great job and gave everybody like something to play off of and all of those things, and always did what he had to in a scene. It just Keenan does a great job in this role, and he did a great job in this role tonight.
Yeah, I was between him, but because you hit him, also the just to throw it in there, the video will sketch also huge. Without Keenan doing his part properly, it doesn't work.
Yeah, sorry, that's what I was referencing with the father.
Oh yeah, sorry.
No, that's fine.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with a bit of an oddball choice, and I'm going with Dismukes. Dismukes is going as my defensive player. His like gentle "I'm learning" in the Amazon Go sketch. Him being like, "Oh, we got a boo boo head over here" in the cold open was solid. and the fact that his idea was just push Putin down a flight of stairs. The Princess and the Frog sketch, he gets an extra 30 seconds to just give a random Cajun description of why Ray was hated. And then fucking he's the game show host in the game show sketch, and you know that host is generally if you host a game show sketch, you're in my book you're pretty much automatically a contender for a defensive player because that is a pure defense position right there.
Absolutely.
Even at the most
be a strong defensive player.
Even at the most wild and like craziness of a game show is you have to play it 100% straight. This is real life and there's nothing weird about this.
Yep.
And for that reason...
This is the worst day of your real job.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's why Dismukes is going to be my defensive player of the week.
Very fair.
Alright, sketch of the night. This is just our favorite sketch from the night. The one that we think is just our favorite. Generally it'll be a good sketch. Sometimes it's not.
You'll never forgive me.
I'll never forgive you.
It's so good. I think about it constantly.
Alright. So my sketch of the night, I'm gonna go with Wedding Speech. I think that's just very solid. It's just good writing. All it is basically a comedy monologue with like a little bit of like support work from the other characters. It really shows off our host, who is our offensive player. This is where she got the most offense in. So for me, this is definitely my sketch of the week.
I loved so many sketches this week. So many. But Don't Stop 11 brings me peaceless joy. Everything about it is just and there's a lot of runner-ups here. Like I loved the cat sketch. I loved the Amazon sketch, but Don't Stop 11 has that fucking energy to it. It's just fun and nice and good.
It also fulfills the like trope level of a 10-minute to 1 sketch. It's got the energy of a 10-minute to 1 sketch. That's
everything you want from a 10-minute to 1 sketch. It's weird, it's stupid, and everybody's having a great time.
Yeah. So those are our thoughts for the Zoë Kravitz episode of SNL. Once again, if you've gotten this far, please email us at billyhatemail@gmail.com. We'd love to know what you think about any of the SNL episodes this season, or just anything about SNL in general. If you just want to send us, hasn't been good since the 2000s, we'll read it and make fun of you.
Or just send something to let us know you're there and okay, and we're worried about you. You never sent us anything.
Alright, everyone, have a good rest of your week, and remember, support local comedy. So long, everyone.
Bye.